Well, it's been a wee while since I've wanted to do a video about everybody's famous work shy lazy bee. But I don't know how this happened, but all of a sudden it came up YouTube, latest video, an update on my mental health, and I thought, and I watched it, but the reason why it piqued my interest is because the blonde look had gone, because I don't watch any Evans stuff anymore. It's been a while since the things are bad, I need some more money video. I did watch it, same monotone voice, and let's be honest, it does look terrible. And I was reading between the lines, it appears that he only gets to see his kids twice a month at weekends, and the rest of the time he's got fuck all else to do. He's not even doing the content or producing as much content as he'd like to do, because he just doesn't have the initiative to do it anymore. And he's feeling very lonely, he doesn't speak to anybody, and I find that incredible. I think obviously his wife's moved on. I think his wife, I think maybe she's got a new partner, she's cracking on with her life, and Evans is stuck in the same rut that he always was, and that is trying to find any relevance. If you're watching this, Lloyd, I'll tell you what I'm going to compare you to. Leicester City, because I know Lloyd likes the football. Leicester City were once the champions in the English Premier League. Now they're not even in the same league anymore. Leicester City have bombed out. They'll probably never come back. And that's Lloyd Evans. He's now been replaced by a lot more other people who are a lot better than him at it than he is. And he doesn't have any relevance in the ex-JW community anymore. A lot of people still faithful to him, like lots of Leicester City fans will still go and support Leicester City, but in a broader sense, nobody really wants to watch Leicester City on the TV anymore. I certainly wouldn't. And that's where Lloyd is. He's got he's got his small fan base, but that's about it. No relevance, not in the same league anymore, and other teams have taken over, and that's where Lloyd is, and I think he knows it. And when I look at the video he's just done and the problems he has, and he seems to be incredibly lonely and trying to seek any relevance, and it's the same thing I've been saying for several years now. This all could change if he just got a job. Because he keeps on referring to his ex-JW stuff as his job. It isn't his job anymore. He's been sidelined. It's no longer his job. It's no longer his job to go and watch Jehovah's Witnesses things. In fact, he's not really doing it anymore. Other people are doing that now, and they're doing it faster and better than he now does it. So he now needs to look for another job. And I mean a job that actually you go out and earn your own money instead of, depending on people sending you money. If he did that and he had a little bit of self-respect, went out and got a new job, doing some work. And I don't mean trying to be a stand-up comedian, because to be a stand-up comedian you need to be at least funny. That's part of the rules of being a comedian, trying to be a bit funny, which he isn't. And I've listened to his latest song on Spotify, Guinea Pig. I'd say to you, Lloyd, don't give up the day job, but you don't have a day job to give up. So I've listened to the song. It is okay. It's never going to do anything. I've written better songs myself, and I certainly will not be giving up the day job. And I'm about 16 years older than Lloyd is, and I'm still having to bloody work till I retire. But at least I'm working. There's the difference between me and him. He really needs to go out, stop doing these videos, get some self-respect, get a job, and if he gets a new job, he may get in different social circles. I find it extraordinary that him and his fan base, that still in his solo nights, his musical career, and his comedy stand-up nights, and his socialising in the capital, I find it really hard that he still hasn't got a girlfriend. I find it really difficult. Maybe it's because too many people know that little Lloyd is more toxic than a weekend for two in Chernobyl. Maybe it's that. Maybe nobody wants to go near to the wee fella. I don't know, but I find it really extraordinary he hasn't moved on and got somebody else. And I can't understand why anybody in the sort of Lloyd Davidian sect hasn't, you know, wanted to become the new Mrs. Evans, because he has a whole roast of people who I'm sure could do it. I don't know, maybe he's travelling around the world a bit, been curtailed due to not having the funds that used to have coming in. And let's not talk about the court proceedings, because that's died. Let's not talk about the book relaunches, because looks like that's not happened either. It's simple that he needs to just go on, close down that chapter of his life, which is clearly causing him great mental stress, and take out a new chapter of life, which is nothing to do with Jehovah's Witnesses. That's the best advice I can give you, Lord, if you're listening to this, is just please forget about that, go out and get another job, and you know, do something different. There's something else out there for you. It's not stand-up comedic work, and it's not writing songs. I know I've been at it a lot more longer at this than you have, and really it's I don't know. It's you know, it's a complete lottery having a hit single. So that's it. I just thought I'd leave that out there for anybody who's interested on my thoughts on that latest Lloyd Evans video. I don't recommend anybody watches it, to be fair, because you're just be increasing his views. Don't watch it. I've summed it up. It's just more self-loathing, to be honest with you, and somebody who clearly needs to get a job. There. It's simple done. I will just give you a quick update on something that's been happening in my life, and that was I brought up in a video way back in August about my father. He had a stroke. I went down to see him he was in the hospital, big hospital, the Countess in Chester, moved to the Cottage Hospital in Chester. I went to see him. He physically was better, but apparently he fell going to the toilet and broke some ribs. Then he was on morphine for painkillers. Then he had problems with his bowels, and so as a result he just lost so much weight. I went down to see him last Thursday, and he literally has aged 10 years since I probably saw him in August. I got a few words out of him like, yeah, do you want the TV on? No. Do you want something to eat? No. Are you too hot? Yeah. And he tried to speak to me, but I couldn't quite understand what he was saying, and it's really strange, to be honest with you. It is like the guy I last had a proper conversation with last April, my father, who was a small amount confused, has now reverted to a child. That my dad has died. He died the man I knew died in August when he had this stroke, because that stroke has robbed him of the ability to probably even recognise people or to string a sentence together. And unfortunately, technology today, and this is the saddest thing about this more than anything, is that the doctors and nurses, because he's not been eating and because he has a little bit of jelly and a little water, the weight's just falling off him. He looks terrible. He's in a nappy. He's got the tube that you get, colostomy bag in a nappy, degrading for a man who's 88 years of age. He's been in hospital now since August, now into November. And unfortunately, because of the way we are, is that everybody's trying to do anything to make sure he doesn't die, because that's the way it works. It doesn't matter that the man mentally is no longer there anymore, and it doesn't matter that he's had more strokes since, as they found out, so there's probably even more damage done. The fact is they're trying to keep this body going when there's nothing left up here. And you know, honestly, you wouldn't, if you had a dog, like the way my father's at the moment, you wouldn't keep a dog going. You'd have it mercifully put down, despite how much you love the dog. And that's where we are, unfortunately. I think our technology has gone so far now that we're trying everything now. They're now trying to put the tube today was going up his nose, down into his stomach to try and give him all the things he needs because he's not eating through his mouth. And it's just horrible. And they're just trying to keep this body going when the mind's already gone. And luckily I'm not there all the time. His other family are there every day, seeing him, looking after him and feeding him. And it's heartbreaking. And you just wonder at some point, you know, no quality of life. Maybe it's, you know, it's not a case of do not resuscitate. It's a case of maybe people have that, maybe it's not worth trying to bring him back physically because that person's dead. So it's a difficult one. If my dad lasts to Christmas, I will be amazed. And funny enough, this time last year in November, his wife died of a stroke, and she had the stroke, and she hadn't got this, but my dad had the stroke in August, and it's just a long, lingering, slow deterioration. And anybody watching this video who's had to go through that with their wife or their husband or their mother and father knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying I'm looking forward to it, but I preferred I got a text from my father's stepdaughter just saying, I'm sorry, you know, we lost your dad last night and he's rejoined my mum in the heavens. I prefer that than what's happening at the moment, because it's an awful way. And that's the saddest point about life, that you just get to the point where maybe you've figured things out through your life, and you've made mistakes, won't do that again, and you've got quite competent that, you know, your point of view is correct and everything else, and then at that point all of a sudden then your body lets you down, and then your mind lets you down, and you get confused, and it's just sad to see. It's sad to see your father when a nappy with a colostomy bag, having to be fed by a spoon. It's so degrading. It's awful. But anyway, on that note, I better go. It is sad. Yeah. Anyway, that's the cheery way to we end it. However, Christmas is here soon, so maybe that'll cheer me up a wee bit. But see you later. Bye bye.